Imagine getting scammed out of a Nintendo DS game? Couldn't be me. As you can see by the title, um, yeah. So one of these games in my collection of DS games. I know I don't have a lot here, in terms of like physical DS games because my DS collection is just super small. But one of these games are not real. Look very closely. I'll give you guys a few seconds to figure out which one it could possibly be, and then I'll reveal it later on. One of these games are fake. And I thought that today would be a good opportunity, just because I kind of figured this out, to, I guess, kind of spread awareness that there are fakes out there, and you should be careful about them. But just to give you a little bit of a history lesson, this will probably give away which one is fake, but a little history lesson as to behind which game of these is the fake. Back in 2021, I started kind of getting into game collecting. Very lightly. It all kind of started with just like, the original Pokemon games. I think the whole story behind it is me and one of my friends, I think at the time it was Pokemon Sword and Shield were the newest Pokemon games, so we wanted to play the games and, kind of play like the different versions of them, and I guess in a way play them together, even though there's not really a way to. I think I got Pokemon Shield, so there's that. I got the worst Pokemon game. That was the one I kind of really got into. But because of that, I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of interesting to play back some of the old Pokemon games. So I got Gens 1 through 3 for the Game Boy Advance. This is actually the first retro system I got, outside of like my 3DS, the Wii that I've had, and obviously the Switch. This is the first retro system I ever got. So it kind of holds a special place in my collection just because it is the first one I got. I got Pokemon Red, Gold, and Sapphire? No, Ruby. I keep getting those always mixed up. But I got those for that. And then for the DS, for my DSi, 3DS, whatever, I got Pokemon Pearl. If you look very closely, so this and this, I just want you guys to kind of just like look at that very quickly. I think it should be pretty obvious. It's not the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. I'm pretty sure Pokemon Pearl has Wi-Fi connectivity. But if you look closely at the kind of like label here for the Nintendo DS, this one's a bit like bolder than this. I mean, you could be like, okay, maybe it was just like a misprint, or maybe that's just how some games are. But if we also look at like the Sonic one, this is like one of the first DS games I got. If we look at this one, it's closer to this one. And I know this one's legit. So these two are similar. And then we add on to Mario Kart Wii, which is also legit. These three are all the same, but this one is bolder. So I was like, wait, that looks weird. Because if we also look on the side here too, it's also bolder on the side. Like, why is it bold? So I get digging. Because I think I got this off eBay. That's how I got all the Pokemon games. It was before I knew about the retro game store I go to now. And I will say, if you are getting into game collecting, go to a retro game store if you can. You'll be able to guarantee that you won't get like scammed off of like fake games or whatever. But I got this one, and it said it was like complete in box or whatever. And we got the manuals, whatever. I think it'd be kind of interesting to look at that in this video and see like if we could tell that these are fake. But it's just like, I got it kind of like, just looking at it now, I get red flags like just on this. So I think it'd be kind of interesting to, I think I have the manuals in here for, maybe not this, I think it's New Soup I have the manuals for. So we're going to just get these two out of the way. For New Soup, I have the manual. So it'd be kind of interesting to look at that, kind of see the quality. I mean, they're two different games, so the manuals are going to definitely be different. But it'd be interesting to kind of like compare the cartridge. I mean, obviously we already compared to the boxes. This one is bolder. And like, just kind of use this as a way to showcase these are some things you need to look out for in terms of fake DS games at least, but just fake games in general, especially if you're getting into collecting. So first things first, let's actually, I don't think there's really going to be anything on the back though. Oh, I see a major one right here. ESRB rating is not down there. That should have been a red flag. I was dumb at the time. I think I was only 15. I was not really looking at these kind of things. So this right here, if you don't see an ESRB rating on the back of it, when I'm pretty sure every other, yeah, well, I guess Mario Kart DS doesn't. So I guess it's not on the back of all of them. But I guess kind of look for that, and it might be a good thing to look for. It may not guarantee that if it's fake or not, but it looks like, in terms of the print quality, it looks fine. It doesn't look blurry or anything. This one doesn't look blurry either, so it's like, so I guess the print quality is fine, at least for the cover. So let's get out the manuals and stuff for these. We don't need to worry about these. Keep those all the way. So we'll get this manual out. See if there's anything like weird about this. Yeah, that is weird. Hold on. So I kind of noticed. Oh look, Nintendo or Club Nintendo. And there might be something on the back for those of you that are living in the past and might have a Club Nintendo account still. But if we look at these, they're actually the same size, which is weird. Like, the box, like, these boxes have, like, different, like, this one's more bold. Like, the color's a little bit different, it looks like. Like, it's a very faint difference in color, but the color's different. But when it comes to the manuals, like, they're the same. What the heck? Okay. But anyways, let's see if there's anything, like, looks weird about this, because the manual might be a way to kind of tell. Maybe the manual's legit, and, like, it's just the rest of it isn't. But, I mean, it doesn't look like anything's, like, of lower quality or whatever. Like, it doesn't look like there's, like, it's blurry or anything. I mean, I'm kind of looking at this through my camera as well, so, like, I have the same POV as you guys, kind of. Except for I'm looking at it, like, instead of, like, directly at the manual. Like, I'm not really seeing anything weird about it. Because it's not like, well, that does look a little blurry. Like, the images kind of look blurry. That's the only thing I can maybe think of that might. Just like the fact that the images are kind of blurry, at least these ones. Like, these ones seem pretty fine, at least for what they are. I don't know, they kind of look blurry too. But let's look at the new Super Mario Bros. Manual, see if it's blurry for that kind of stuff as well. I'm not really seeing it, like, that much different. Because if we look here, it looks like it's also kind of blurry. So it might just be the system. But these aren't, like, the manuals might be a way to tell, but it's mostly, like, when it gets to the cartridge itself, that's how we're going to find out. So we're going to grab the, Pokemon Pearl, and we're going to grab the new Super DS cartridges here. So I need to get that. I need to get rid of that sticker. But I mean, right away. Oh wait, there. Okay, right away, it's like you can't really tell. Oh, we gotta let it focus there. You can't really tell. I mean, the font looks kind of different. Maybe I don't know if it's the same for all of them or not. It's kind of hard to tell, like, if there is a difference here. I mean, this one, I don't know, actually. They seem like very similar. It's mostly on the back, though. You can kind of tell. So this is the new Soup one. So the Nintendo logo. That's the important thing to look at. So look at that right there. The Nintendo logo, it's the one we all know very well. But then if we look at the fake one here, it's like a different font. It's like a different shape. This was what made me realize that this is a fake. Because if we compare these side by side, the difference is pretty clear. It's like, this one is the official Nintendo logo. This one is like more, like, it's wider, like for the circular thingy on it. It's a little wider, so that's kind of the red flag there. On top of the font being different. But, like, it's the small things you gotta, like, really look at in terms of these games. Like, I don't even remember why I figured this out. Looking at my collection, I think it was yesterday, at least that's me recording it. This video, I was just, like, looking at my game collection or whatever, and I noticed, again, that it's bolder here. So I got pretty suspicious about it. But, I mean, this was, I think, I was expecting this to be a shorter video. I was a shorter Chris's Corner compared to the last couple. I guess kind of the conclusion of this, just when getting into game collecting, just be careful with what games you get. if you can, try to contact the developer or the seller and see if you can like get more pictures and stuff. I just dropped that because it will really help you out a lot. And if they say they can't give you pictures, well then that might be a red flag. Because at least what I do anyways, if I have to get something off eBay, I would more recommend, if you can, go to a retro game store or like any of those kind of like shops to get your retro games if you're getting into that. But if you can't for some reason and you are resorting to eBay, well, be careful of scams like this one. I mean, not really scams, but fakes like this, because they're not super obvious in pictures. It's more so when you get them that you'll notice them. Just be cautious about, I guess, read seller reviews and stuff. That's also important, because it's like you won't notice right away. Like if you're just comparing them side by side, or if you're just comparing it by itself and you don't have another one to reference as, it's not gonna be obvious that this is a fake. But once like you add it to your collection and it's side by side here, you're gonna notice something is off. Like even if it's like on your shelf and you know, it's you're not looking hard, you're still gonna kind of notice it. Like it's pretty clear that this one is more bold than the rest. Again, I'm like Mario Kart DS on here or something. Like, you know, we got like the normals here, and then we got a really bold one. And that was kind of the biggest red flag for me. That, and also the back of the cartridge. Yeah, just be careful with these kind of stuff, because as silly as it sounds, it's actually become a lot more common, I've seen, for like fakes to be made. Also, don't buy DS games off Temu. They call it Temu. I'm gonna call it Temu, because that stuff is a scam. I'm just gonna throw it out there. At least in my opinion, Temu is a scam. So don't worry about, or don't buy stuff off that, or AliExpress, Wish, stuff like that. Don't use those sites. And also be careful with sellers on eBay. And if you can, go to retro game stores. I think that's all I really have for this one. Again, pretty short compared to normal. It is important to be sure you know how to kind of identify when there's a fake. Because it will really help you out, and it will really save you money. Because I think I spent like $50 on this, and it sucks that it's fake. Like, it was complete in box and stuff. I was like, this is kind of a good deal. Because again, this is when I was young and dumb. This was, I think, my sophomore year of high school. It was either my sophomore or the end of my freshman year. So I wasn't as knowledgeable in game fakes and stuff, because I was like, okay, well, what are the chances I get a fake? But just going forward, I am definitely going to be more cautious if I do get stuff off eBay. I know the rest of the games in my collection are legitimate, because a lot of them I have gotten through the game store I go to. The only ones I didn't, I think, were the Galaxy games, which I know those are legitimate, and then the NES Mario Bros. Games. Those are the only ones I got through eBay, besides, well, this one. Well, then, and also the Pokemon ones, but I know for sure those aren't fake as well. But yeah, just keep an eye out for these kind of things. Be careful when you're looking for games. But that's it for this one. It's me, the biggest nub on YouTube, Christendo, signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.